James Storm.
And that's it. Thank you.
Mr. David Selby. Miss Laura Parker.
Oh, this dog. It was like, no, I thought it was a man. Funny.
Mr. Jerry Lacey. Mr. Malcolm Marmerstein. Ms. Catherine Lee Scott.
Oh, that's right. Turn the lights up.
Yeah, we've asked the hotel to hopefully get the lights brought up here, but I think it's Dark Shadows time, and that's okay, right? And what's that? Well, as you know, all of our illustrious guests were part of the documentary we just gave you a sneak peek for, and it's something we've been working on the last couple of years. A number of those interviews we shot up at Lyndhurst, where the Dark Shadows movies were made. Joe Caldwell, the other writer from the show who's in New York, was shot in the old Dark Shadows studio, and we've got some great footage with Catherine. We shot at the studio that'll be one of the many extras on when the film is released in a few weeks. And then we had a great time pulling these things together. Malcolm Marmerstein, here on the end with Jerry, is one of the original writers, of course, who helped to usher Dark Shadows into the supernatural. And we'd like for everyone to do a quick greeting. And Jerry, can you tell us, after watching the program tonight, did you learn anything you didn't know about Dark Shadows?
Yeah, I probably did, but I was sitting way in the back and my...
Or Dan Curtis? Now, there should be a mic down there. Yeah.
I was sitting way in the back, and as you know, my hearing isn't great, and there's a little bit of a muffledness in this room, and so I missed a lot.
All right, well,
Really.
we'll catch you after the second viewing when you've got your sound system. We've got the perfect sound system, and but obviously, with your many incarnations of Trask, you've got your own perspective on how you brought evil to Dark Shadows, if not humanity.
Well, I think I brought the real evil.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's one lady said to me one time, she says, I really appreciate, your character because you showed religion up for what it really is.
And Malcolm, I know that Dark Shadows have been part of your life since you wrote it. After Dark Shadows, you worked on Peyton Place, you wrote Escape to Witch Mountain, you've done a lot of other genre projects. And did you ever take any of your Dark Shadows, any of the thoughts you have in Dark Shadows, did you ever apply that in your later projects?
Let me go at it a different way. If you were to ask Betty Davis, I did a film with Betty Davis, and then I told her that I'd worked with Dan Curtis. Well, if you could have heard her talk about Dan Curtis, it's priceless. She hated him. So that's one insight. The way I came into it, I was a head writer of The Doctors in New York, the soap opera. And I decided to leave the show. So my agent said, look, I got a job for you that'll last 4 weeks. I said, what is it? He said, Dark Shadows. I said, oh, okay, 4 weeks, fine. So I met Dan Curtis, and I read all the scripts. Up to date, I watched the show, and I met Dan Curtis and an ABC vice president at Sardi's East. And so we started talking about the show. And I said, Dan, your show is a melodrama. You've got detectives and you've got, the regular stuff. Why don't you do something a little crazier? I notice you like supernatural. So he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I don't remember the name of the character of the kid. I forget.
David, little David,
Right,
the boy.
yeah, that's right. So she was getting out of an insane asylum in Phoenix, Arizona, at the time that I was coming into it.
Right, Laura Collins.
So I said, Dad, you want to do something crazy? So he said, what? I said, well, she's getting out of the institution to go to Collinswood to claim her child and take him back. And so he said, well, how's she going to do that? I said, because, you see, it's a fire thing. She is one of those creatures who can burn up in a fire and be reborn for another 100 years. And he said, what? I said, yeah, it's a phoenix. The story of the phoenix, from Greek mythology. He said, are you kidding? I said, no. I said, you've got 4 weeks left on the air. And what are you going to do for the 4 weeks, what you've been doing all at the same time? What you want to get away from? Try it. It's nuts, but try it. What do you got to lose? 4 weeks. So he groused a bit and said, you can write that? I said, yeah, I'll give you a script in 2 days. So I wrote it, and he liked it. So he said, let's try it. So we went into the Phoenix with going after David, and she was going to burn David up in the fire with her and be reborn together for 100 years. It sounded terrible. But we started to play it. And as it played, I mean, the audience response was terrific. And ABC renewed it for 13. And now we're really bouncing with this thing until we noticed that the actress playing the Phoenix, is she here tonight? No. Thank God. We noticed that we had to put her behind various pieces of furniture, or sit her down, or have somebody stand you know, sort of blocking her because she was pregnant. And that's only how many months? You know, so we realized we had to kill her off. And where do we go from here? And Dan said one day, you know, my daughter mentioned the vampire. You think we could do a vampire? I said, that would be great. I said, in fact, last summer in Stock, I saw Bela Lugosi himself playing Dracula, and he was terrible. I mean, he was practically, he was like a, you know, a drunk bat falling off the stage. He was awful. But at any rate, I said, why not? And, okay. So we started doing it and setting it up. I actually wanted a young blonde guy to play the vampire. It's never been done. So, you know, and you have a young audience, but they was afraid to do that because when I met Jonathan, he was a Shakespearean actor, and he was terrified. I had a meeting with him at the office. He was just terrified. He had no idea what he was getting into. I said, John, we're talking here like two people. And that's the way the vampire is. He's people. He relates to everybody. And that's how you get people to bite. So that's really how it got going.
Well, you definitely made your mark, and it's a great pleasure to have you here to be part of the history and the influence you had on Dan Curry.